If you own a home, there's a metal box sitting outside your house right now, quietly plotting to steal thousands of dollars of your net worth. It is a ticking financial liability. Homeowners pulling quote estimates for a new central air conditioning system in 2026 are getting hit with intense sticker shock. Units that cost a fraction of today's price just 5 years ago now demand a massive capital outlay, with major brands repeatedly hiking their wholesale prices across the board. Because of this, real estate inspections have aggressively shifted. An air conditioner that is past the 12-year mark is no longer written off as a minor maintenance note. It is treated as a major pending capital expenditure, sitting right on your property line. If you plan to buy or sell a house anytime soon, ignoring this specific mechanical price jump will cost you a substantial amount of equity at the closing table. So, how exactly did a standard mechanical system turn into a primary target for price negotiations? And what specific forces are driving this sudden surge in replacement costs? The first major pressure point comes from federal regulations. The government mandated a complete phase-out of older R410A refrigerants in favor of lower global warming alternatives, specifically R454B and R32. Because these new refrigerants carry very different safety profiles, manufacturers had to redesign their electrical controls entirely and add mandatory leak detection sensors. You cannot simply pipe the new refrigerant into an old machine. You have to scrap it and replace the entire structural system. On top of that, new federal SEER 2 efficiency standards raise the minimum performance floor for all residential cooling. To hit these strict legal benchmarks, factories now have to build systems using variable speed compressors, significantly larger coils, and highly precise electronics. All of these mandatory engineering upgrades mean the absolute minimum entry-level unit today costs far more to physically manufacture before it even gets loaded onto a delivery truck. The baseline complexity of the hardware has been permanently raised. The era of the cheap, quick air conditioner replacement is legally extinct. Beyond the internal redesign, tariffs on imported components like circuit boards and electric motors carry heavy import fees that manufacturers pass directly to the consumer. Then there are the physical building blocks. Central cooling requires immense amounts of copper tubing and aluminum coils. Sustained high global prices for those raw materials, combined with elevated domestic freight costs, keep manufacturing expenses punishingly high. Down at the local level, municipalities have made their building codes far stricter. Getting a permit now requires detailed load calculations, strict venting compliance, and a full electrical panel update, adding hours of required on-site labor. And finding the people to do that labor is harder than ever. Installing these specific R454B and SEER T systems requires highly certified technicians who understand complex electronic controls. With fewer young workers entering the trades, contractors are forced to pay premium wages just to retain qualified talent. When you combine strict global material constraints with a severe local talent drought, a mandatory mechanical upgrade quickly turns into a luxury tier expense. This engineered price surge directly targets real estate negotiations. Look at it from the perspective of a current homebuyer. They are already stretched to their absolute financial limit by current mortgage rates. To a prospective buyer walking the property, a rusty outdoor unit represents an immediate 5-figure liability they will have to fund almost as soon as they get the keys. This creates extreme vulnerability for the seller. Buyers will weaponize that dying system to demand massive cash credits or direct price concessions. If a system is over a decade old, they will actively bleed the seller's equity to cover their future risk. The best defense is being proactive. Replacing a dying system before you ever list the property neutralizes that leverage. It protects your final purchase price and prevents buyers from holding your transaction hostage over a single piece of machinery. If you are planning a move soon, take a hard look at your home's mechanicals. Reach out to evaluate exactly how your current system will impact your property value so you can calculate your replacement cost now and keep as much equity in your pocket as possible.